welcome to Mrs. Sun's math class. So today we will continue to teach the year 10 pre-method. So the topic 1, linear equations and inequalities. So today we'll go through the lesson 1D. So linear equations involving more complex algebraic fractions. So first you can have a look learning intentions. Basically, today we will go through what is addition and what is subtraction, and with this kind of algebraic fractions. And also we will go through multiplication and division. So you can see here. And also we will have a look some kind of just our prior knowledge before. For example, like the lowest common denominator. So basically that is the lowest common multiple. And also we will have a look. So if they have like terms, and we have to know how we can collect. So basically like terms, and we will do addition and subtraction. Okay, now we have a look the first part. So first part, I always introduce my students to their keynotes. So we will have a look. So when I teach this part, I always use some knowledge. So just like our prior knowledge before. So they are basically like some question from their primary school, even year 1 or year 2 questions. So in this kind of question, for example, I always ask my students, so we will start from the fraction number and we do addition and subtraction before. For example, I always ask them, so can you let me know, so what is 1 plus 2? What's that equal to? So definitely easy for everyone. So all the class can give me the answer, that is 3. And now I change to fraction. So I ask them, so if this 1 over 5 and 2 over 5, and what's that equal to? Some students, they are not quite sure. So they will say, Miss, is it still 5 here under that? So I know fraction definitely, yeah, it's always a very tricky topic for some of us. So I always introduce like this way. So I will say, so for the fraction, so normally how many kind of method you can present a fraction? So the students know we can use definitely like this format. So they have numerator, denominator, and with a bar. And also the second method is we present a fraction. We can use the diagram. So if we have one whole as this whole rectangle, and we split into 5 even parts. And when you're talking about 1 over 5, so that is means 1 of that. So that is 1 over 5. And also we can use the third method. So third method is we can use a number line. So if we have a number line, we know they need 2 arrow, means they are 2 ends direction, and they have a 0. And then we can write that as 1 and even 2 and keep on going. So between 0 to 1, and we can present our fraction, especially like fraction 1 over 5. So this kind of proper fraction. So we still separate this from 0 to 1. So we split into 5 even parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then 1 of that from 0 to here, that is 1 over 5. Okay. So now, if students feel very confused, they are not quite sure, should they change the denominator in this sum, 5 or 10? So I will always use the second way to present. So for example, 1 over 5, so that is a 1 whole, and with this 5 even parts, and you pick one. And what is 2 over 5? So I will draw the same size of this rectangle. And then I will color in 2 parts this time. So that is 2 over 5. So totally we can find it. You have this purple, add this to red. So add together, then I got 3 of them. So that is, so 1/5 plus 2/5, and that will be equal 3/5. And we can find it definitely you will keep the denominator will be the same value as 5. Okay, so that is the prior knowledge we prepare before we study this algebraic fraction. And then we will come back to here. So now, when we're talking about add or subtract the algebraic fraction, and we also follow the same way. What's the same way? Is we always want them to have the same value or same denominator. So that is the idea. So in our primary school, if we have different denominator, what we're going to do? For example, 1/2 plus 1/3. And what we're going to do is we will find out the lowest common denominator. And what is lowest common denominator? It means the same thing like the lowest common multiple. Okay, now we have a look. So lowest common multiple is easy because we can find out what's the multiple of 2. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So we can keep on find the multiple of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we keep on. And also for the multiple of 3, we can get 3, then 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 9, and then 12, 15. Okay. And from these two lines, okay, two rows, we can find out they have 6 as their common multiple, and also they have 12, their common multiple. But what we're looking for is the lowest common multiple. So lowest common multiple here between 6 and 12, definitely we'll pick 6. So 6 will be the first multiple, common multiple show up. Okay, so then we just have to make up, we have to do an operation and make sure we have denominator will be equal to 6. So equal to 6, we can see 2 change to 6, they have to time by 3. And you denominator time by 3, so numerator also time by 3. Then you won't change the value of this fraction. That is called equivalent fraction. So the numerator and denominator enlarge the same times. And also we do the same similar thing. So 3 change to 6, I have time by 2, and top time by 2. So now we will get the first part will be goes to 3 over 6. And the second fraction will change to 2 over 6. So then I can find, oh, they have same denominator now. And that means I just add the top. So top 3 plus 2, add them together. And that is my sum, the sum of this fraction. So the answer is 5 over 6. So the same way we do the algebraic fraction. So we can see here, they give us some notice. So I will highlight the notice, then we go to the first example. So you need add, when you want to do add or subtract algebraic fraction, we'll prefer the following steps. First, you have find our lowest common denominator, and we know that means you find the lowest common multiple of your denominators. And second is you rewrite each fraction as an equivalent fraction, so with this common denominator. Then we can express as a single fraction and we simplify the numerator. So now we follow all these steps and we have looked example 9a. So example 9a, you can find, oh, we have the same. So it's the numerator is 3 and 2. So we can use the same way. So I change that time by 2 and the top time by 2, and this one is time by 3 and top time by 3. Then I won't change this fraction value, and now that will be equal 2x time by 2, 2 times 2 equal 4, and x we just copy down, and 3 times 2 as the denominator, that will be 6. And second term is x times by 3, that is numerator is 3x. Number always go to first. So remember the algebra law, we have 3 laws I'm talking about in the first lesson 1a. So if you're not quite sure, you can go back and double check. And then the numerator, 2 times by 3, that will be 6. So now we find, oh, same denominator. And then the numerator I just take by each other. So that 4x takes 3x. That is x over 6. So that will be the answer for the first question. And some of you probably say, Miss, question B, the numerator, I find they are not only like one letter or one number. They like an expression. Okay, we do the same thing. So you have to find out what's the multiple of your 5. So 5 and 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can keep on, oh, sorry. I can keep on write as many as I can, okay? But it's already enough for me to do as 30. And 3 will be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then 18, so blah, 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 okay? So now you can find it. So the lowest common multiple, we can find that they only have 15. Is the first lowest common multiple, that's it. And if I want to write more, I can do more. So for example, like 21, 24, and 27, 27 and 30. Then I have second pair of the common multiple. But we pick the lowest common multiple, so 15 will be fine. So now the second step is I think how I can get 15 as the denominator. So I time by 3. And the top, I have to time by 3. So you have to pay attention. The top have to be in a bracket. So time by 3. That means everything will enlarge 3 times. And like your denominator enlarge 3 times, then it will be an equivalent fraction. And we do the same thing. So denominator I time by 5, the second term, and top I need time by 5. Okay, now we just check what we got from the first part. So first part is 3 and times the bracket x plus 1. So remember we're talking about it's distributive law. So that means you have to separate sharing. So all the terms inside this bracket. And the bottom is 15. And the same thing, that is 3 times 5, that is 15, denominator. And 5 times x plus 4. So 5 have to share to x, have to share to 4. And now we keep on, So break the bracket, expanding. So 3x plus 3 because I share to both of them. And the second one is 5x plus 20. And I have the same denominator, so I can add the top together now. And now I find, oh, I have like terms. So 3x and 5x, they are like terms. And I will add them together. So that is 8x. And 3 and 20 add together, that is 23. And now I will check. So do I have any common factor or simplify this fraction? So A23, there's no common factor. So I just leave that as this way. So I finish this question. So this one is talking about addition and subtraction. So for the algebraic fraction. And that is, addition and subtraction. But then we have to consider how we can do the multiplication and division. So multiplication and division, we will follow this method. So everyone, I will highlight this one. So you can see here, multiplying and dividing. So when we multiply in algebra fraction, we will multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators, and cancel where possible. Here, that means if you have any common factor you can cancel, you can do that. And when you divide in algebra fraction, you have to use division sign to a multiplication sign and write the following fraction as their reciprocal. So you have to turn the fraction upside down. So that means your fraction is, for example, you have a number times a fraction, divide. So divide this fraction is x over y. And they will change to this question. And division change to multiplication. And also your fraction. So you can see here, the second fraction x over y, they will be upside down. So it's like a flip, okay, flip. So flip, I will change y to the top and x to the denominator. So you have to keep that in your mind. So when you change your division symbol to multiplication symbol, and at the same time, you have to change x over y to y over x. So they have to change at the same time. So this one have to always keep in your mind. Okay, so now we have a look at the example 12. So here we can follow the instruction here. So they said when you do multiplication, you multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators. So I will multiply the numerator first. 5 times 6, that is 30. And then y times z, I got yz. Follow the alphabetical order. And then 3 times 7, that is 21. And x times y, I follow the alphabetical order, xy. So now I will check, can I do any simplify or cancel? So 30 and 21, definitely they have the common factor as their 3. So I can divide by 3 from the top and divide by 3 at the bottom. So then 30 divided by 3 will change to 10. 21 divided by 3 will change to 7. And then I will double check the letter part. So I have y and y. So one from the top, one from numerator, one from denominator. So I can do the simplify. That means on the top, I only have z left. And as denominator, I only have x left. So that answer is 10z over 7x. So you can see here, the solution is this one. And now we have look some division, okay? So this kind of division, we remember is we always have to do the division sign change to multiplication. At the same time, I have to flip my second fraction. So here, 9y over 4x. And then I got 3xy over 2. So I just keep on use the same way as the multiplication. 3 times 9, that's 27. X times y and times y again. So that is y squared. So y times y. And the bottom 2 times 4, that is 8 and x. Now I will check, can I simplify anything or cancel any common factor? X and x, definitely. And 27 and 8, there's no common factor. So the answer is like this. Okay, so that is division. And also, guys, you can try the 13b, and the solution is like this. Okay, and also you can try the example 12b, and answer is here. Answer is here. So guys, and that is basic division and multiplication. And also we have some questions for you to do more exercise. And basically for the addition, subtraction, and you can use same way. So now I will show you how we can do question C. Question C, if I talking about the multiple of x squared and multiple of x plus 1, and we have to consider how we can get a lowest common multiple because we don't know what's the value of this unknown. So that means the best way is I will use x squared times x plus y. 1, that will be the best lowest common denominator. So that is what I'm going to do. I will time by x plus 1. So this one I time by x plus 1. On the top I have to time by x plus 1. This one I time x squared. And bottom I have time x squared. So we just check so what we got. So that is first fraction. The 1 will be changed to x plus 1. And the denominator will change to x squared times x plus 1. Then plus x squared times x plus 1. And then the top 1 times x squared will be x squared. So I can copy down this one here. And the top is x plus 1 plus x squared. So now you will check, do we have any common factors? And in fact, there's no, okay? So we can just leave that here. But basically, I will advise my students use ascending order for their power. So this one is power of 2, this one is power of 1, this one y is equal x to the power of 0. So we use descending and do this kind of solution. And that is basically the answer of this question. Okay, guys, so we will double check the last one. So if you have equation and with algebraic fraction, and we will do the same thing. So you can see this question, you just have to find the lowest common denominator and then make sure it will be equal to the other side. And then we just simplify. So that is basically the question. So now we will do one of this. So first we find it. They have the denominator is 3 and 2. So what I'm going to do is I will change that time by 2. And this one I time by 2. And this one I time by 3. And this one I time by 3. So now what we got is 2 lots of x plus 2 over 6 and take 3 lots of 2x take 1 over 6. That will be equal to 4. And now, because I have the same denominator, so I can use my numerator, subtract together. So to distribute, so separate, share to all the numbers in the bracket. So 2x and plus 2 times 2, that's 4. So take 3 times that, that is 6x. Then 3 times 1, so that is 3. So 6x takes 3, equal to 4. I will do step by step, huh? So 2x plus 4, break the bracket, take 6x. Negative, 6x is positive. So negative check positive, means positive, that will be still negative. A negative meet negative, that will be plus, change to positive, and equal to 4. And then 2x takes 6x, that is take 4x, plus 7 over 6, and equal to 4. And now, some students always confuse here. So I always teach them with two methods. First one is you change the other side also as a fraction. Whole number can always over 1 as a fraction. And then we can use a cross multiplication. And 1 times this negative 4x plus 7. So 1 times that. And it still itself. And equals 6 times 4 will be 24. And then both sides I use inverse operation. Take 7. So this one is gone. So negative 4x equal 24 take 7, that is 17. And then I just divide by negative 4 on both sides. So use inverse operation on negative 4, sorry. So divide by negative 4. And this negative 4 will be gone. So x equal negative 17 over 4. So that will be the answer. And some of my students very confused from here, from this step. They'll say, Miss, why we can do in this way? Okay, if they confuse, I will follow that way. So I got this, take 4x plus 7 over 6 equal 4. And 4, I change that. 4 over 1. I change to same denominator. So I use 1 times 6. So they have 6 on the right hand side. And also I have 6 on the left hand side. So because the final fraction equal final fraction, so that's also new denominator equal to denominator. So that means numerator also equal to numerator. So that will be negative 4x plus 7 equal 24. And that is same way we can do the calculation. So the answer will be keep the same. So if at the end you are not sure the answer, you always do the check. So left hand side will be equal x plus 2. So negative 17 over 4 plus 2 over 3. And then take 2 lots of x. 2 times negative 17 over 4, take 1. And then we can continue. So we can have a look this one. So that is equal 3 and negative 17 over 4 plus 8 over 4. Then take this 2. 2 times negative, that is negative 17 times by 2. So we can simplify 2 and 4 here. So negative 17 over 2 take 1. And then we will keep on do that calculation. So that will be equal 3 as denominator. And the numerator will be take, that is 9 over 4. Then take, this one is negative 217. Then take 1. 1 means 2 over 2. I just do step by step, huh? So that is negative 4 over 9. So they are divided by 3. So we divide by 3. You can always, so this one fraction means divide by 3. So we can use the same way. I can change that to 1 times 1 over 3. So that's your numerator, negative 9 over 4, and times 1 over 3. And take, the second part is negative, because I negative 17 over 2, take 2 over 2. That means I got a bigger negative. So that is 19 over 2, and divide by 2. So 3 and 9, they can simplify, so that is 3. So that is negative 3 over 4. And take this one is negative and negative. I got positive. And 19 over 2. So in the same way, divide by 2. And I can change to multiply to flip. So that is half. So that will be negative 3 over 4. Then plus 19 over 4. And now I will keep on simplify. I have the same denominator. So I can add the numerator together. Negative 3 plus 19. So that is 16 over 4. And we simplify. That is 16 divided by 4 equal to 4. Equal right hand side. So right hand side is 4 here. And then we can get the answer will be x equal negative 17 over 4 is the solution. So that is the checking part. Definitely, if you think, oh, miss, checking part is so complex. So you can use calculator if you're allowed to use calculator in your test. Okay, so then check the left hand side equal what? And is it equal to the 4 and to the right hand side? So that is the basically, yeah, so we still follow the same way. So always the lowest common denominator, and it's come from lowest common multiple when we do addition and subtraction. And when you do multiplication and division, we always just follow that instruction I showed you before. So guys, I think that is basically what we are studying today. Okay, so now we have go back. So you have to find the lowest common multiple and lowest common denominator. You can do the addition, and also you can do combine the like terms, and you can do add and subtract algebra fraction, and you can do multiplication and division, and you can solve linear equations and involving solve algebraic fractions. Okay, so guys, thank you for watch my lesson today. So hope you have good luck, okay, for your math study. So see you next time. Bye.